Hello folks, L.A. Little here with TA Today, bringing you neoclassical technical analysis on a regular basis, giving you trading ideas, setups, and thoughts about where this market is and where it's going. Let's get into it. Hey folks, I want to do a quick video here just on the fact that the tech sector, in particular the SOXX, right, those chips, and I did a video on this, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, and said, hey, we're going to get a shift out of the hardware chips, those types of trades, right, into what I thought would be software. And to some extent that is happening, right? We saw a huge push in software on Monday, then it sold off, and now it's getting bought again this morning. But the main thing is, is the market actually just moving the money around, or is the market actually seeing money taken out? And right now, if you look at it, and I'm doing this, 3-4 hours, about 4 hours before the market opens, 3.5 hours. And I'm sitting here looking at them saying XLV, XLP, XLF, XLU, right? All of them getting bought this morning. Here's another one, ITB, right? What do you see getting sold? It's the hardware, XLK and the SOXX. Makes perfect sense. I mean, these things are up a ridiculous amount, right? So the money's not leaving; it's just moving. We don't have a lot of quotes in here, but we had CrowdStrike last night got hit, so Hack is down, EEM is down. So anyway, the point is money's rotating; it's not leaving. Do you want to chase into things like XLV, XLP? I don't think so. I was just looking at these to see what they look like. XLV looks probably the best of the group, but still, it's like, okay, sells off. It's just inside this range. Maybe it goes back up and test. I don't see a trade there. They're gonna rotate back to technology. That's not going to go away. It's just like, where does the money go in the meantime, and is it worth chasing? And usually it's not worth chasing, right? XLU doesn't look that great. Let's look at XLY. This one looks a little bit better, but still, it's not anything to try and chase. XLP, I don't want to chase that. So if I go down the list, I don't really want to chase any of these ones. XLF is actually interesting, a little bit lower, but still, this thing may have topped. So when I go and look through all these, I don't want to mess with them. I just don't see the trade there. What I see the trade in is either you're shorting this technology, on a very quick move, right, intraday type stuff, which is what I'm doing, or you're taking and saying, let's look at some sectors that have a longer term implication, like maybe XLE. Can I get a trade in here if it sells down? I don't see a reason to try and rotate. Either protect, be a little, quicker on your stops, and have a situation where you're not, getting pushed around. You never want to be in a position where you have to do something, right? Let's look at I had a few opportunity stocks here that look kind of interesting. Here's some of those software stocks. Here's Adobe coming back in. This is probably, again, a buy. And these are ones that I highlighted. Here's Box, probably a buy as it comes back in. CRM, probably a buy as it comes back in. Let's look at the big ones like Microsoft. Here's Microsoft, probably a buy as it comes back in. These are for trades, right? They're probably good trades. I think SAP is a good trade. That looks like a good trade to me as it comes back in. So all these software names, to me, look like they're set up for decent bounces again. So they get their first push, right, come back in, right, and probably will get another push back to the top side. So that's where I'd be focused if I'm trying to chase something. I saw Meta was up quite a bit yesterday. I still don't particularly like that stock though. So Palantir, let's look at that one. That's probably a buy too as it comes back in. All of these, right, look like buys as they come back in, right? This big bar here, that's a wide price spread bar. You get over it, you test into the top, you can't quite get over it. You've been in a downtrend. But what are you doing? You're turning that trend. Here's the swing point high. You went up and you tested it. You got volume there, 226. You hit it with 139. Well, that's actually not very good. Today is got a couple more days of trading. What is that? About 445. So add 92, it'd be 220. Yeah, it's going to be about the same volume, maybe a little heavier. So that might work out. That actually might end up being a good trade as well. So if I'm chasing something, right, or if I'm trying to catch this rotation, I'm looking at the software sector still. I still think that's the place to try and rotate. I don't think the money's going to leave the market, at least not yet. And it's probably going to rotate into something that's still tied to technology somehow. All right? Have a great one. I'll see you next time.